What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the Liverpool-Tottenham post-match analysis, and also I will review the weekend games in the Premier League, or well, the biggest ones, and let's talk about Liverpool's magnificent performance against Tottenham. I think that we should have been 5-2 up at the end of the game. That should be the proper result for this one. Tottenham had a really big chance at the beginning of the second half after they scored pretty much a fluke goal, and I'm sorry I didn't commentate on the game after the game finished, but I was out with my family, with my father, with my brother and with my girlfriend just on a day out, so I got back pretty late and I wanted to watch the game on replay in full so I don't miss anything. And when Tottenham took the lead in the first minute, I was really worried because this was basically a revenge probably for the Champions League final, that Tottenham took the lead in a fluke goal. And I didn't agree with Jurgen Klopp's team selection of starting Dejan Lovren instead of Joe Gomez, but he probably went with experience in such a big game, and I'm sure that Gomez will play a lot of games in the coming weeks against Arsenal, against Genk, in the Champions League as well. And when Liverpool went 1-0 down, I was not really too worried, but I just felt that if there is a team who can maybe score the second goal, it's Tottenham, because they have such dangerous players, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son especially. And when at the beginning of the second half Heung-min Son had that open goal, I honestly thought if we go 2-0 down, that's it. Our 44-game unbeaten home run could come to an end. And by the way, Liverpool are now 45 games unbeaten at home. That's more than 2 full seasons being unbeaten at home, which is absolutely magnificent. The last time we lost a game at home in the Premier League is against Crystal Palace in 2017. But of course Chelsea have the record with 86 unbeaten home games, so it will be almost impossible to match that in the Premier League, but let's hope that Liverpool can do it. So when Tottenham went through, clean through on goal, Heung-min Son, and he had an open goal, honestly that was the turning point of the game. He hit the bar, luckily for us, even though Lovren was running back. I think if he hits the roof of the net, I don't think Lovren can stop that, honestly. And that was the turning point, because at that time it was still 1-0. So let me know, who was your man of the match? My man of the match was Fabinho. I thought he was absolutely incredible. He's like a player when Xabi Alonso meets Javier Mascherano, and it's something like a mold of the two players, two of the best midfielders that Liverpool have seen in the past 15 years. So that's a big compliment to Fabinho. He's now the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League, in my opinion, and he was absolutely immense. He destroyed so many Tottenham counter-attacking opportunities, but this game shouldn't have been this close. It was 2-1 in the end, when Henderson, who I was very happy with, he played so much better than in previous weeks. In the second half he was exceptional, he was brilliant. He really buzzed the game from midfield, and also he got a very crucial goal. That was his first goal of the season, and he normally scores 1 or 2 Premier League goals, so at least it comes in a really big game, because they make no mistake, after Man City beat Aston Villa, this was a really big game, because Man City were just 3 points behind Liverpool when Liverpool kicked off against Tottenham. So Henderson scored a brilliant crucial goal, and then Mane was fouled by Serge Aurier, who is a car crash of a right back. That's how I can describe him. If you take a look at Tottenham's right backs and Liverpool's right backs, it's day and night. The difference is so big now, and I'm just really delighted. And that's why I didn't understand why on earth did Tottenham sell Kieran Trippier to Atletico Madrid, because Aurier can't defend to save his life. And when he was one-on-one with Mane, I was licking my lips saying, come on Mane, take him on. And that was just a horrendous tackle on Mane. He kicks Mane's legs when Mane nips in to between the ball and Aurier. And Aurier is just such a rash, erratic defender that I think that was a Stonewall penalty, and Salah scores the penalty. Also, Salah had to come off with an ankle injury, but that's still that's still the swelling from the ankle injury that he got a couple of weeks when Chowdhury really destroyed Mohamed Salah's ankle. And I think probably he needs just to rest. I think Salah will be rested for the midweek Arsenal game in the League Cup, and he should be, because he's one of our most important players. I'm so happy that Salah scored now in back-to-back games after having a relatively slow start to the season in his own standards, because he's still scoring goals. He has like 7 goals now, or 8 goals, something like that. And I think that Mane also played really well, but the midfield was the star of the show, especially Fabinho and Henderson. They put in magnificent performances. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, going forward, again, he's magnificent, but a little bit of criticism. His defending needs to improve. I think Robertson is a better defending fullback than Trent Alexander-Arnold, but attacking-wise, Trent is better than Robertson. And remember that Trent Alexander-Arnold is like 4 or 5 years younger than Robertson. So for a 21-year-old, Trent is an absolutely incredible world-class right-back already. He is a generational talent, and we are so blessed to have him. Also as a scout, sir, coming through from the Liverpool Youth Academy. But defensively, there were a couple of moments where Trent Alexander-Arnold's decision-making wasn't really up to the top standard. Sometimes when Tottenham were on the counter-attack, I remember an instance where I think it was Sissoko who carried the ball, or no, it was Dele Alli who was carrying the ball, and Trent went to press him instead of dropping back and marking Heung-min Son, who was running in behind. And if the pass from Dele Alli is more accurate, then Heung-min Son is one-on-one with Alisson. Thankfully, I think Dele Alli it was who overhit the pass, and Alisson could gather the ball. But that was just one example of a little bit of a bad decision making on Trent's part, and I think that will come with experience. The more he plays, and the more big games he plays, the more he will learn the defensive side of the game, and that's actually easier to improve than the attacking side of the game, because that is a much harder skill to learn, and Trent has the natural fantastic ability. Carragher described him as Kevin De Bruyne as a right back, and that's not too far away from how Trent Alexander-Arnold plays, because he has just a magic wand of a right foot. He has a magnificent cross on him, and he's hitting 6 or 7 like 60-yard diagonal passes to Robertson or to Mane on the other side of the pitch, and it's just magnificent, brilliant to see. And I'm just so happy that Liverpool won this game. We are now 6 points clear in the Premier League. Very happy about this. And also, Liverpool played so much better than Tottenham. I mean, we had like 13 shots on target, and Tottenham had like 3 or 4 shots on target. So it was a well-deserved win, and as I said, we should have won by 2 or 3 goals at least. Even with Tottenham scoring potentially 2 goals, we could have scored 4 or 5 today. Honestly, Gazzaniga, who had to play because Hugo Lloris is still out injured with a dislocated elbow, Gazzaniga was probably the man of the match for Tottenham. And I'm just really delighted that Liverpool could win this game, because this was a tricky one, especially after Tottenham went in front. Liverpool had to dig deep, but we had so much intensity and we played so well that I think that we thoroughly deserved this victory. And Jurgen Klopp was pleased as well after the game. This is what he said: "I expect this as well. An early goal is obviously not the best thing that can happen, but sometimes it makes one thing clear: game on." And that's exactly what we expected Tottenham to do, being very compact, very aggressive, chasing us. We lost the ball in midfield and they had a counter-attack, and that's it. It was a bit unlucky for us because Alisson made first a save and then Harry Kane was there, so I'm pleased. But I expected as well. The game I loved, a super game. It was just how football should look, how you should play against a really strong, good, organized side with the threat constantly in your mind that each ball you lose will possibly end up in front of your goal. The counter press was exceptional. It was kind of vague. That was the plan today. We wanted to be really strong especially in that department, because it was clear we probably might be dominant, but that means you lose balls. You cannot finish each situation off, and then the counter press must be there. I love that. That was really, really good. I told the boys at halftime, the only problem in this game so far is the result. Apart from that, everything else was good. We tried to adapt in a couple of situations. They set a few traps for us in their possession, how they wanted to do it. So we wanted to adjust there a little bit. They had the big chance of Son, but it was only a long kick, not even a pass, I think. Dejan Lovren misjudged it in one moment and thought he could let it bounce, but then Son is away and Alisson made a very special save. I think he didn't touch the ball, but he was so big in that moment, and that made life kind of uncomfortable for Son. He still finished it really good, but luckily enough for us, it hit the crossbar. So I'm not sure what he's referring to where Alisson made a big save. Maybe he referred to Alisson made himself big, so Son had to take the ball wide around Alisson, and then he had a tighter angle to shoot from. But it was still a good angle. I saw a picture at the moment when Son is about to shoot the ball, and you expect him to score from there because Lovren is not even in the goal yet. He's just running back. Alisson is on the floor. So on another day, if Son scores that 2-0, that's very, very difficult for Liverpool to come back from that, because Tottenham just gets such a big boost from that. And just a few minutes later, Henderson scored the equalizer, and then the mind shifted again. The momentum shifted in Liverpool's way. Probably Tottenham players felt, oh no, here we go again. And we now won 4 games in a row against Tottenham. And Tottenham are a very, very good team. So I really, really respect this record that we have against Tottenham recently, because it's not easy to beat Tottenham. And this was another pretty close game, but it shouldn't be close. This game reminded me of the Tottenham-Liverpool game of last season at White Hart Lane, where Liverpool dominated the game and we really should have won the game 3-1, 4-1. And that time Tottenham scored at the end and to make the scoreline look a lot closer than it should have been. And Jurgen Klopp continued saying, we were in charge, we pushed Tottenham back, we played really good football, created chances in both halves. There were super saves for the goalie of Tottenham. Wow, what a game he had. The first goal we scored I loved, because in other games, maybe when the striker goes down, everybody's shouting for a penalty. There are maybe players around who switch off a little bit, but Henderson was not bothered by that. And he finished that situation off really important and really nice. The second goal is a sensational counter-press situation of Sadio having the ball, losing it twice, coming in front of the opponent, and then he kicks your calf. That is a super situation. We won it, we deserved it, and I'm really happy about the performance. This could be the most intense display of the season, but speed and intensity for players like this is a lot about the momentum. If you don't think too much about it, then you can run like they can run, even more than today. In the stats, running wise, we are not up in the table. Intensity runs, yes. Sprints, yes, but not in general, because we have the ball quite a lot. We had today nearly 70% possession. Jurgen Klopp gave an injury update on Mohamed Salah and his ankle issue. It's the ankle he has struggled with since the Leicester game. It's good, but the longer the game goes, the muscles get a bit tired, stuff like this. And if you get a knock on it, then you feel it more. It makes no sense to try to push it through, because we had other players on the bench, still options to change, and that's what we did. So no, nothing serious. I think this is one of the best Liverpool performances of the season, and Jurgen Klopp said this about the game. I loved a lot of the games already this season. The Arsenal game was a good one as well, to be honest, but we need to play really well. And I got already the questions. You are now on 28 points, blah blah blah, but you only have to think about what would have happened if we would have lost today and how the questions would have been. We know exactly what we have to do. We have to be focused, concentrated on all the specific games. Next one Arsenal, then Aston Villa, then Genk, and then Manchester City, and then again international games. A very busy December and stuff like this. So there is a lot to come, but so far so good. And Liverpool's start to the season has been absolutely exceptional, absolutely wonderful. And I'm really happy that we are still 6 points clear of Man City. How Leicester City smashed Southampton was incredible, winning 9-0. Of course, the red card helped Leicester, but still Southampton are just in free fall, and now they are one of the favorites to get relegated. Chelsea look a lot more solid than at the beginning of the season under Frank Lampard, and I'm really impressed by Chelsea, to be honest. They are playing good football, they look like a solid team. Defensively, they are tightening up a little bit. Arsenal, on the other hand, are falling apart. How Xhaka was moved off at the Emirates is just astonishing, and how he was saying this to the fans and then saying fuck off and then cupping his ear like this and ripping his shirt off and just storming down the tunnel. From an Arsenal captain, I expect much more, and I might make a separate video on this because I have a lot to say about this. If a Liverpool captain did that, I wouldn't want to see him ever again in Liverpool shirt. That's my opinion, but let me know if you are an Arsenal fan, what do you think about this? And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.